So I have listened, I've waited, I've pondered, and I think I have enough to keep you guys busy if I do this, but let's jump into it. Starting off the channel here, I think that most of this stuff is going to be motor or automotive related. As you can see, there's quite a few things going on in here. This is my shop. My shop is 35 by 55. I believe it comes out to like 2,200 square feet, 2,300 square feet. This building was on my property when I moved here. Me and my fiance moved here about 2 years ago. So we do live on a 10-acre homestead, farm, whatever you want to call it. Most of my time is usually spent in this shop, which is my pride and joy. Everything I ever worked hard for or done is in here. Most of my ideas and creations come to life in here as well. Pretty much everything in here does have a story, why it's here or why it was needed. I will go through all of my vehicles, motors, projects, engines, everything I got going on here later on. Just to touch on me a little bit, I'm 28, I'm a plumber. I live with my beautiful fiance on our farmstead. Tinkering and problem solving is kind of my main bread and butter. I've always been a fan of the journey on something. I have been plumbing for 7 years now. I am in the process of completing my apprenticeship and going to take my state test to journeyman out. So that is definitely exciting, and that will be in January coming up here. I got my letter in the mail, just waiting to test now to continue to study. My fiance works at the hospital. She is a surgical assistant. She does take care of all the stuff that I don't. She's extremely important to this place. She also has some hobbies herself. She does sourdough bread. We do have some chickens on our farm. So eggs and baking, bread, all that fun stuff. So she definitely uses her time wisely when she's not working as well. I'm sure she'll be in a few of my videos. The rain did start coming down, which it has not rained in a really long time here. So let's see what we can see. We've been here for about 2 years now, and mostly everything we do, just us. We don't get much help around here as we're pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. There is a handful of things that we do have some of the neighbor friends come by and help with, but for the most part, it's pretty much just me and the old lady here. I guess getting right into it to keep you guys a little interested, I'll give you a rundown of some things I got. This one is a 1995. One of the main reasons that I grabbed this truck was due to the clean frame it's on. I know the rockers on the old Chevys are rotted, but the frame can't beat that. Also, I have done a little bit of work to it since I did get it. Obviously, sticker bomb the windows, front and back. Diamond plate tailgate was pulled off, cleaned, and put back together. So I was able to beat this flat. This was ridiculous. The liner was also all screwed up, so it needed to be mounted properly. The latches on both sides didn't work. Handle wasn't there, neither was the bezel, but it doesn't fit nice. The lights didn't work. The cab and roof lights didn't work. A lot of little stuff too, but nothing like the smell of an old 90s Chevy. And then next to the tractor, we'll get this one out of the way real quick. This one, nothing really special, just a reliable daily. Needs a little bit of work right now. It's a 2012 Toyota RAV4. This one was Nicole's mom's car, and she had given this to us because she had gotten a new one. So we are in the process of fixing it, though. It does need a timing chain kit. I know the VVTi cam gears on these are known for causing that rattle. And then as long as the or as well as the tensioners, start slapping on them on the chain. So timing chain kit and some cam gears is what this pig needs before it's back on the road. But definitely good car. That's why it's sitting here and will be fixed soon. And then I think I'll save the BMW for last there. What the fuck? Save that BMW for last there. That one will be the most talked about probably. But let's get into this guy next. This one was a pretty fun recent project. The local neighbor across the way there, his name's Ray. I might talk about him a little bit, but he's a tractor guy, so he's got quite a few farmalls on his property. This was one of the ones that was sitting, needed some TLC. So I picked this one up for him, pretty cost effective. I was able to actually bring a battery to it, load it up and drive it home. Probably drove it home about 13 minutes down the road just because of how long it takes. This thing had almost a block up restoration. Got gaskets. The head got steam cleaned in a cabinet. Exhaust gaskets went on there. Got a new one-wire charging system. Battery box was installed on top with a new battery. I rewired the unit. Fuel system was updated. New belts. I did put a Amazon ignition on this, as well as a 12-volt reader off the battery to let me know the voltage at all times. This one is definitely fun to ride. It does fire up and have no issues, along with most of the lighting does work. The one light doesn't work. That's what I forgot. But this thing is definitely a beast. It does have a new steering wheel put on it. And then also, a cool little feature I threw on was one of my old 240s had a glitter bomb shift knob. And what I did was I cut the shaft down, I welded a bolt onto it, and just threaded on a shift knob. So now I got a JDM shift knob on my 1950 DC tractor, case tractor. Put a little wooden step deck there. But yeah, this is definitely one that grabs people's attention when they come over. This one here always grabs people's attention when they come by as well. Everyone loves to sit on it and hang out with it, but this is Nicole's 2022 Honda Grom. I did buy this for her brand new out of the dealership. Took it off the showroom floor. Put all 1,961 miles on it. Good vehicle, does what it needs to do, but it does not move much. It likes to sit right in this spot. It has been dumped a handful of times by a handful of people. Almost every plastic on this thing has been replaced. Mirrors were changed out. It has some adjustable handles for the front and clutch lever, front brake and clutch lever. Also, it did get a rear fender delete kit on there. Yeah, not much about this one. This one is Nicole's bike, but like I said, it likes to hang out right here. I think one of my other personal favorites in the shop is obviously my ATC 125. I do have a good collarbone breaker here, or a Widowmaker, whatever you want to call them. This is a high-low version, so it is a 4-stroke, high-low gearing, 4-speed. This unit did get destroyed shortly after buying it as well, and it did need new cases, new transmission, new gasket set throughout. This thing was pretty much completely redone by a guy named Corey that's local to me. This thing is a wheelie machine, and I can't wait for snowfall to start tearing up with this. This right here was given to me actually a couple weeks ago by friend or neighbor of my parents up top. It had a bad wheel. I guess one of the wheel brackets that holds the drive assembly on there snapped. The plate holding it did snap, so I was able to pull the wheel off, put it back together, and weld it. Yeah, it's just a push lawnmower. Nothing really fancy about it. But one reason it was sitting here is because there may have been a potential with this here, with this. It did not end up working out. As you can see, this is here. But let's get into the next one as well. My buddy Camille is in the process of building a drift mower, so that will definitely be on the channel too. This was given to us by Ray. This was a donor chassis, I guess. Pulling that 70s go-kart motor out of there. I mean, look at this. It's got wooden brake pads. Can't beat that. But this motor will come out. He did pick up a 212 Predator, so he will drop that in there. And the cool thing is that Predator does slide right under the seat. So the seat will go on, and then the foot deck will go on. And then this is Allis-Chalmers. I think this is an 84 lawnmower. Oh, didn't even tell you this one. This one is a 85. Let's see here. A 1985 model. But everything in here is old and got a story. But yeah, that one is an 84 lawnmower going on like a 70s go-kart with a new Predator motor. So this one will be a lot of fun. Slammed drift go-kart, which is in the process of being built. This is all the pieces that we cut up and took apart. And then also this is some of the old pieces of it as well. This was the motor that came out of the mower. It's actually a 2-cylinder, which is crazy, but... And then while I'm over here, I'll show you this. Not really important, but I do have a 54-inch zero-turn mower. This was the original deck that came with it. I bought that mower a year ago, and it already went through a deck. So just shows you how rough the property is around here. Consistently popping tires. This one's already been patched a handful of times. This one's flat. Needs to get filled up every time I ride it. But this one also maintains the property, keeps the grass cut. You'll see us on this a lot over the summer, but definitely a useful toy when you're on 10 acres. Of course, last but not least is going to be the E36. Let's talk about this a little bit. I have owned this car for 6 years now. It's been through hell and back with me, but it is finally getting the love that it deserves. It is a 1992 325i. The reason that I picked this chassis is because it is a non-Vanos motor. It does have the forged bottom end from the factory. So knowing that it had a good platform to set up with, I wanted to stay with it. Also because the chassis is cosmetically clean as well. Frame is straight, undercarriage is straight. It's pretty dang mint underneath this car, except a couple bubbles on the doors and skirts. So due to how clean it is and the setup on the drivetrain, I wanted to stay with this platform. I've also had a few of them before. A couple things that I've done was powder coat the valve cover, sandblast the valve cover, and then all new gasket kit around the top. It does have the RK Tune coil packs with new plugs in there. Obviously, shout out Mike, was able to get some of his reservoir socks. Just has a basic intake setup here. Sandblasted the oil canister cover as well. Some new hoses and lines, radiator. Basically just got a nice refresh on the engine side with all new fluids. For the suspension setup, it is just on some basic eBay coilovers. Nothing too crazy right now, as I just kind of want to get the car on the ground and moving. But it does have all new pieces on the front, which I'm waiting to do on the rear as well. Between calipers, brake lines, pads, sway bar links, hoses, every single nut and bolt is brand new on this. So the rear will get buttoned up after our wedding. Yep, I'm getting married, and then it'll be on the ground then. Some other things I think that will go on with this car over time is the interior will get blessed a little bit. Good old 90s leather ripping. So the tan interior was never my favorite, but it does work, so I can't be too upset. Trunk is spacious. I was always a fan of the OEM battery in the trunk here. So just full of parts and random stuff at the moment, but truck is getting a couple gauges, as well as the BMW will be getting a couple gauges. The rear brake pads for this, rear axle for this. I do have front brakes and everything for this as well. I got a whole lot of stuff in store, and I'm kind of glad that I am starting this journey now with the winter coming in, just because about everything has a story, everything's got a project to it, everything's got something that can be done, and that's just inside the shop, so that's pretty cool. Outside the shop, we do have a chicken coop that you saw, some silos. We do have a full barn with horse stables inside of there. There's a creek that runs along the back side of the property with trails on there. There is a small track on the back that we do ride. So I have buddies that bring ATVs over, dirt bikes, three-wheelers, and we tear up the back. Oh, lot to talk about, lot to do. I'm excited to start this journey. Excited to document everything along the way too, because I think the documentation process is pretty sweet. Looking forward to some feedback, what you guys like the most out of everything I showed you, what you guys want to see the most. And then looking to grow this, looking to grow a community, a base, a bunch of people that want to hang out together and share some like-minded ideas. But between all my vehicles, living on a farm, and being a plumber, I definitely have a fast-paced ADHD lifestyle to always keep me updated and moving, which I will translate to here for you guys as well. So I'll get this piece together. This was more so just a touch to break the ice, and just stay tuned and look forward for more to come.